Welcome to Crimes Beyond Borders, where we'll bring you the most thrilling true crime stories every single day. If you're fascinated by mystery, intrigue, and the darker side of human nature, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us as we unravel the most shocking and perplexing criminal cases from around the world. The story is about to begin after this intro.
From city streets to far-off lands, mystery slipping through our hands. Crimes beyond borders they speak, voices strong but words are meek. Every story leaves a mark, whispers softly in the dark.
Our stories at first are made for ourselves, to comfort us, to help us sleep, and to learn. Along the way, they become a part of our journey, teaching us English and fueling our passion for true crime. So, listen carefully, and if you're about to sleep, close your eyes. Let's begin. The West African ritual killings, dark beliefs, blood money, and a decades-long reign of terror. In the shadowy corners of West Africa's bustling cities and quiet rural villages, a dark and deadly tradition has been carried out for centuries, hidden from the gaze of outsiders but rooted deeply in the region's cultural and spiritual fabric. These are the ritual killings, murders committed to harvest human body parts for use in ceremonial rites, traditional medicine, and dark magic. For decades, these killings, often referred to as Muti murders or ritualistic killings, have claimed the lives of thousands of men, women, and children across West Africa. While many of the perpetrators are motivated by ancient superstitions and belief in witchcraft, others are driven by greed, exploiting the demand for human body parts in underground markets. This horrifying practice reveals the complex intersection of cultural beliefs, the desperation born from poverty, and a dark, thriving black market economy. Despite modern legal systems and growing awareness of human rights, these ritualistic murders continue to plague countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. This is the story of how ancient traditions, combined with modern criminal enterprises, have left a bloody trail of mystery, fear, and tragedy across West Africa. The cultural context, rituals, and Muti. To understand the roots of these ritualistic killings, one must first examine the cultural context of West Africa, where traditional beliefs in witchcraft, ancestor worship, and spiritual powers have been practiced for centuries. Even today, in the 21st century, these beliefs remain deeply ingrained in many communities. Muti, a term commonly used in southern and parts of West Africa, refers to traditional medicines made from plants, herbs, and, in its darkest form, human body parts. Traditional healers, often called witch doctors or herbalists, claim to have the power to cure ailments, bring good fortune, or curse enemies by using concoctions derived from human body parts. In many cases, these body parts are believed to possess mystical powers that can enhance wealth, power, or protection from harm. Among the most sought-after body parts are genital organs, heads, hearts, hands, tongues, and eyes, each believed to hold specific magical properties. For example, in certain traditional beliefs, a person's body parts are thought to carry their life force, and using these parts in rituals can transfer that life force to another person. Genitals are believed to enhance virility, while a human heart is thought to imbue the consumer with bravery and strength. While the use of human body parts in rituals may be ancient, the way these body parts are acquired has shifted dramatically in modern times. In the past, people who died of natural causes were sometimes exhumed to provide materials for these practices. However, as demand for these body parts grew, especially among the wealthy and powerful seeking supernatural aid in business or politics, the method of acquiring them took a more sinister turn: murder. The origins of the killings: power, fear, and wealth. The history of ritual killings in West Africa is long and complicated. Some of the earliest documented cases date back to pre-colonial times, when kings and tribal leaders would sacrifice human lives to appease deities or secure victory in battle. While colonial powers introduced formal legal systems to punish such crimes, the practice persisted, especially in rural areas where traditional beliefs remained strong. With the onset of modernity and the increasing desperation brought on by economic hardship, a new breed of killers emerged, those willing to commit murder for financial gain. The practice of ritual killings became tied to the concept of juju, a form of magical belief that promised wealth, success, and protection from harm in exchange for the sacrifice of human life. Juju priests and traditional healers became powerful figures, often consulted by business leaders, politicians, and even criminals, who believed that these rituals could help them gain an edge over their rivals. The victims of these killings are often the most vulnerable members of society: children, the elderly, and people living in poverty. In some cases, family members, neighbors, or acquaintances are complicit in the killings, lured by the promise of wealth or out of fear of the consequences of disobeying traditional leaders. In countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, ritual killings have become a lucrative business, with body parts sold on the black market for thousands of dollars. Wealthy patrons, including corrupt businessmen and politicians, are willing to pay exorbitant sums for the chance to secure supernatural protection or success. This demand has fueled a grisly industry in which human lives are sacrificed for power and greed. Nigeria, the killing fields of Ogun State. One of the most notorious hotspots for ritual killings in West Africa is Ogun State, located in southwestern Nigeria. Over the years, Ogun State has earned a dark reputation as a hub for the practice of blood rituals, where human sacrifice is believed to be a necessary part of securing success and power. In the early 2000s, Ogun State gained international attention after a series of high-profile ritual murders were uncovered. One particularly horrifying case involved the killing of a 12-year-old boy whose mutilated body was found near a shrine. The boy had been abducted from his village and murdered so that his body parts could be used in a ritual to bring prosperity to a local politician. His body was found with his genitals and heart missing, and investigators believed the killing had been carried out on the orders of a powerful juju priest. Another chilling case involved a 6-year-old girl named Victoria, who was kidnapped while playing near her home. Her body was later discovered in a nearby forest, with her heart, liver, and eyes removed. Local villagers feared that her murder had been commissioned by someone seeking to win a political election or gain business success. The case shocked the nation, and although several suspects were arrested, no one was ever convicted, leaving the community in fear that the killers would strike again. These killings, though gruesome, represent only a fraction of the atrocities committed in the name of ritual practices in Ogun State. The Nigerian government has made efforts to crack down on ritual killings, but the practice continues to flourish due to corruption, a lack of resources, and the complicity of local authorities. In many cases, those in power turn a blind eye to the killings, either out of fear of retribution from traditional leaders or because they themselves are involved in the trade of body parts. Liberia, a nation haunted by ritual killings. The West African country of Liberia has been particularly scarred by the phenomenon of ritual killings. Liberia's history of political instability, civil war, and economic collapse has created a fertile ground for the proliferation of superstitions and the use of dark magic to maintain power. During the Liberian Civil Wars, 1989 to 1997 and 1999 to 2003, ritual killings reached their peak, with reports of atrocities committed by warlords who believed that human sacrifices could protect them in battle or secure victory. One of the most infamous figures associated with ritual killings in Liberia was General Butt Naked, a feared warlord whose real name is Joshua Milton Bligh. Bligh, who fought in the First Liberian Civil War, earned his moniker by leading his troops into battle wearing only shoes and a weapon. He believed that fighting naked made him invincible, a belief rooted in his deep involvement in juju practices. Bligh later confessed that he and his soldiers had routinely performed human sacrifices, often murdering children, before going into battle. He claimed that these rituals were meant to ensure victory and protect his fighters from harm. Bligh's chilling confessions highlighted the brutal reality of Liberia's war-torn past, where the lines between warfare, traditional beliefs, and murder became blurred. After the war, Blai claimed to have found Christianity and renounced his violent past, but the legacy of ritual killings continues to haunt Liberia. In the post-war years, ritual killings have persisted in Liberia, especially during election periods when politicians and their supporters seek supernatural help to secure victory. In 2018, the country was gripped by a series of ritualistic murders that raised fears that the practice was becoming more widespread. One of the victims was 10-year-old Grace Daniels, whose mutilated body was found in a swamp near the capital, Monrovia. Her killing sparked outrage, and the public demanded that the government take stronger action against ritual killings. Despite these calls, the practice remains deeply rooted in Liberia's political and cultural landscape. Sierra Leone, the dark trade of human body parts. In Sierra Leone, the illegal trade of human body parts, often harvested through ritual killings, has become an organized and highly profitable criminal enterprise. The country, which is still recovering from the devastation of its brutal civil war, 1991 to 2002, has seen a resurgence in ritual killings in recent years, driven by a growing demand for body parts in underground markets. One of the most notorious cases in Sierra Leone's recent history occurred in 2017, when the mutilated body of 15-year-old Ibrahim Kamara was discovered in the eastern district of Kono, a region known for its diamond mines. Kamara had been abducted on his way to school, and his body was found with his genitals, tongue, and eyes missing. Investigators believed that his body parts had been harvested. The story has come to an end, but stay relaxed. If you feel yourself drifting off to sleep, just let the video play and enjoy the soothing music in the background. Let it guide you gently into rest. We'll be here, bringing you more stories every night. Sleep well, and see you tomorrow at 8 p.m.